Welcome back to AM Sports Cover 4. Jay, I wanted you and I to get together and talk about this subject relative to Deion Sanders, Shadeur Sanders, and some of the criticism that they're receiving from former Colorado Buffalo players, and some of the pushback and criticism that Shadeur is getting just because he responded. And, Xavier Smith, who was the individual that came forth and said that Coach Prime could have had a little bit more compassion relative to the individuals that he ended up pushing out. And I guess his overall approach in terms of just the transfer portal in general. And to some extent, Jay, I do understand that. I remember a video of Coach Prime as he was addressing the Colorado Buffaloes. I just felt like there were certain things that didn't need to necessarily be said. I like how he kept saying, I'm coming, but talking about the players next to you and you won't have a place and all this other stuff. If he's saying that with the cameras on, I can understand what could possibly be said when the cameras are off. So I can understand that to some extent, but to another extent, I think a lot of these guys, a lot of these kids, they soft. We grew up in a different generation. You got talked to any kind of way. And so this reaction is probably somewhat soft. But Shadeur responded basically saying that he doesn't even remember the guy. He must have been mid, where he got backlash from that. And then recently, Coach Prime was not having it in terms of the criticism that Shadeur Sanders was getting. And he responded to someone saying basically, my son is going to go top 5. What is your son going to do? Now, Jay, I mentioned in my last video that I felt that Coach Prime is absolutely great for college football, but not for these reasons, Jay. This is the part of Coach Prime that I feel is actually detrimental, not only to college football, but to himself. And also to the mission that he has for Colorado, right? Why do we need the controversy? Why do we need the soap opera? Why do we need the Twitter back and forth? Like, you won't see Nick Saban doing this kind of stuff. You're not going to see Kirby Smart doing this. You won't even see Mike Norvell or Mario Cristobal, our two coaches, doing this kind of stuff, right? These conversations should be had behind closed doors as far as I'm concerned, and this is where it brings a level of dysfunction as far as I'm concerned relative to Deion Sanders. We saw the dysfunction last year. We saw it with how he handled the offensive coordinator. We saw it with some of the comments that he made during the year. So I like Deion. I think he's going to. So last year I predicted that they were going to lose like at least 7 games. This year, going over to the Big 12, I do predict that they're going to do better. I still need to look at the overall roster. I still need to look at the overall schedule and determine how I feel like it's going to ultimately play out. But these are the types of things that get Deion in trouble. These are the types of things that turn people off to Deion. And then when Deion is criticized, then we start to hear people coming in talking about, oh, you're hating Deion, you hate him, blah, 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 blah. It's not about hate. I enjoy Deion. I want Deion to be successful, but I'm also going to be critical of Deion in situations where I think he deserves to be criticized. Now, am I going to slam him for this? No, I'm not going to slam him for this. But I do feel that there's a way to address these types of things. I think Deion can do better in the way that he handles these types of things. And I think he can take a lesson from other head coaches because they would not address these situations in the manner that Deion Sanders does. So, Jay, what's your thoughts on this? I see you, you're thinking, you're processing. What's your thoughts on Xavier Smith and this whole situation that's currently going on with the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime, Deion Sanders?
One of the first things you said, we grew up in a different era. We grew up where people were a lot tougher on us, To me, him saying it like that, this kid, he went to Austin Peay. He had a successful season, looks like, from what a little bit I did see stat-wise this year for him. I'm happy for him. He's a 3-star prospect, very smart kid, major in psychology, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read on him. So, I'm not going to knock him for that. But as far as, being on the field, if you're talking about he's destroying guys' confidence and all this stuff here, it depends on the player. Every player doesn't take the tough love like that. You're going to have some players you got to coddle a little bit, got to push a little bit. Other players, they need that tough love. You the type player, I was the type player that, hey, I need a coach to be on me. Not necessarily for me to be great, but for me to push further. I'll push myself, but don't come at me. Talk to me like that.
I like the foot in my ass. I wanted the foot in my ass. But go ahead.
Yeah. I need that. That's just gonna make me better when I come on the field, whatever sport you may play. But Deion is not for everybody. He's not for everybody. He has to get in where he fits in. He's trying to fit in someplace where I don't know how long he's gonna be there because his style can be, it can make people put people off. For me, the type of mindset I had, I would love it. I'm either gonna make it, or I'm going not. One or the other. But I'm gonna be there and give it my all. I'm gonna make sure he sees I'm giving my all. But this kid here, Xavier Smith, he was just there for the first spring when Deion got there. Deion got there late. The start of spring actually. He was there and then he left. Deion, most coaches, every coach does this. Now the approach is different from coach to coach, like you mentioned. Mike Norvell, Mario Cristobal, Saban, every coach does it differently. But every coach, when New Virginia comes in, they already have a list, check a list, like, okay, he stay, he's gone, he's gone.
Facts.
They don't need a chance to get to know you. They see already what you've done on filming already. Like, this guy's not gonna fit my team. They may have done something like, oh, he's on social media doing X, Y, Z. I don't want that in my locker room. So I mean, coach is always gonna do that. I know Mario is doing that now at Miami. He's retooled our whole team, a whole roster since Manny Diaz was there. And Manny did a little bit like that with Mark Ritt and so forth and so forth. But I'm not mad at other players coming to defend Deion, because if that's your coach, you're going to defend your coach. You know what I'm saying? You're going to defend your coach, especially a guy that didn't play one down under your coach. And to your point, yeah, Deion's braggadocious out front. We know it's probably more going behind closed doors. That's how it is in the locker room with that. I'm not saying you need to be completely disrespectful to a kid, anything like that, but these kids got to toughen up, man. Toughen up. And to one thing I will say, Xavier Smith is right on. It is more like a circus. It's a cameras all over the place, because Deion is making this bigger than just the football aspect. To my point is Jackson State. He has a series on Prime, Amazon Prime. I think he has his first year for Colorado on Prime as well. So he's doing like a reality show as well. So it's going to take a certain kid to have to deal with that type of part. And I don't like that aspect, bringing the reality aspect of it, because you're taking away from the natural environment those kids are used to having. Every kid don't want to be on TV, anything like that. So some kids just want to, hey, coach, I just want to go to school. I just want to put my helmet on. I just want to go out there and do my job. And that's it. But Deion's a different type of player, different type of coach. You know what you're getting with Deion now. So if you're a kid coming in, you see what you're getting. Cormani McClain just left. He was a smart kid, supposedly, from what he said. He had all A's and B's and whatnot, but he's out of there. He was supposed to be, Deion's darling next to Travis Hunter. He was supposed to be Hunter on one side, McClain on the other. McClain barely even saw the field for whatever reason, whether he wasn't good enough, he wasn't studying, or whatever reason. He was in Deion's doghouse. But he's out of there. So it's going to take certain kids to be at Deion, and that's just how it's going to be at any school, really. But Deion is a whole nother level of it. He's a whole nother level. That's just who he is. That's his personality.
Yep, I don't disagree with that. You guys tell us what you think in regards to Deion Sanders and this whole situation. Shadeur, Xavier Smith, is Deion handling this the correct way? Do you perceive this as being troubling in regards to how he handles a situation like this and the deviation that we've seen from other coaches? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is AM Sports Cover 4, and we are out.